Task of Human Living, Part 2. Attunement emerges when I-World, in its peaceful acknowledgement, opens the constricted confines of its natural ignorance. I-World is born in ignorance, and with an inherent urge to overcome ignorance, this overcoming is the task of human living. Everybody is equally sharing in the task of human living. The raw material with which the task is to be performed is different and unique for everybody. The performance of the task of human living is the meaning of human living. And for the complete human being, the performance of the task is the sole purpose. It is performed by opening daily living for awareness, for which peaceful acknowledgement, naam affirmation, and attention and remembrance are valuable and powerful tools. Within the range of the living of I-World, everything that is witnessed, each within its own amalgamation of resonance, performs by its existing a task of living. The task of human living is inherent in human living. It starts with the dawning of the sensation of a fundamental poverty of a way of living that is restricted to daily living of experience and ignores its fundamental embeddedness in what is. Such a life of poverty is guided by attachments with which one is imprisoning oneself. In an endeavor to relieve the poverty, it is gradually discovered that only an orientation towards performing the task of human living will lead to the emergence of a sustainable meaning that furthermore generates happiness, bliss, and joy, and for some leads to the enlightenment of unconditional well-being. The task of human living is to live in such a way that by means of that living, optimal attunement is realized. Such attunement implies that the individual living contributes optimally to the infinite resonance that represents what is. Performing the task of human living is not something extra that should be done as an obligation. It rather involves shaping the life that one lives in a way that is in accordance with what is. This does not depend on successfully performing the tasks and duties of ordinary daily living, but on the way in which these tasks and duties are performed. Circumstances can be agreeable or disagreeable. They are, however, always the optimal indicators of the way the task of human living is to be performed. Concentrating on the task of human living does not mean that tasks and duties of daily living can be discarded or ignored. What matters is that the ordinary tasks and duties are not performed for their own sake or for strengthening the pride and attachment, but from the perspective of optimally performing the task of human living. However, when the task of human living is being ignored, the living of the niche is incomplete, and from the perspective of one's transcendental nature, such a living is a waste. A wasted life is a cause for consequences, both in living, at death, and in the post-living states. Everybody receives in living a unique way of performing the task of human living. With regard to performing the task of human living, there is no hierarchy of importance. The task of human living is performed by means of the management of experience and by means of attitudes and behavior that engender optimal attunement in what is. There is no judge that judges the performance of the task of human living. The only judge is the remorseless regularity of cause and consequence. There is no way to escape consequences other than by becoming a different cause. I-World is always both the cause and the consequence. This is an individual responsibility that no one else can carry or relieve. Once at death, the amalgamation of I world has ceased, there is no more changing of the cause, nor relief through interceding by others. The quality of the cause needs all attention, for which in Nam thinking there are skillful means. Imagination is the driving force of living. For this reason, performing the task of human living needs to be shaped in imagination and needs to be carried by the direction that is provided by intent. Gradually, the source of imagination will change, and detrimental ideas, ideals, opinions and beliefs will be replaced in a natural transformation by beneficial ones. There is no end station to the task of human living other than the disintegration of human living at death.